On to this now. Transport Minister Fikile Mbalula is inspecting new trains this morning. He'll also ride one of the locally produced trains from the Piennarspoort in Pretoria station. ENCA's Govin Whittles is covering this story, and he joins us live from a very crowded plane, I understand. Govin, good morning to you. So talk to us about this story that you possibly may not be aware of, but it appears that PRASA owes Eskom some 250 million rand, and the president had to intervene to try and make sure that commuters are not inconvenienced by this.
Well, it's definitely something that we'll ask the Transport Minister about. Oli, we do have Fikile Mbalula on the new train. So just for some background, these are the blue trains that are supposed to replace the yellow metro rail trains. And as you can see, we're in a bit of a tight squeeze this morning, and it's been like this since the Piennarspoort station. And the Transport Minister is on the train and will be going to the Pretoria station. This is essentially to show what they hope to replace the yellow trains with. But before we speak to the Transport Minister, let's get a sense from one of the commuters. Sir, you were saying that you take the train regularly. Just tell us about what the journey is like in the morning and what kind of differences you've seen on this train compared to the yellow one.
Thank you very much. Since we have got this blue train, in the morning we travel very nicely, since they are on time, but they've made a huge difference from the old train, because old train they take about 40 to 45 minutes from Piennarspoort to Pretoria, but with this one, almost 30 to 35 minutes.
Well, it's certainly faster. What about safety? Do you feel safer in this train?
Safety, very safe, because even the camera there, and then the doors are closed when the train is moving.
All right, thank you so much. Let's speak to the Transport Minister now. Oli, Fikile Mbalula is here. Minister, first of all, it's a tight squeeze this morning. People are jam-packed, but they say that this is the norm. Surely there should be more trains available.
Of course, that is the purpose of why we are here. We're putting in new trains. It is not only here, it is all over. And let us not harbor under any illusion that everything is totally fixed. We are fixing. And from where they are now, me and you, we think that this is West. They are saying is the best. They are used to the West. So where I want to take this to, in terms of our vision, is that they must be 100% free, and at the same time more trains that run on time, and that is what is important.
What have some of the commuters been saying to you this morning about their concerns?
No, they appreciate, but at the same time they say we must move with speed, and they say that here in this lane, Piennarspoort, they are actually paying for the trains, and the trains are much cheaper. The taxi is 18 rand. And then the train is 7 rand, so it makes a huge difference. So they do appreciate, but at the end of the day, I don't need them to tell me. I could see for myself that a train makes a difference, but at the same time, in terms of what we are fixing, we need more train for passenger rail. That is what is important.
Last time you were on a train in your capacity in the ANC, you got stuck with the president. How does this journey compare to that one?
Well, this one is much better from that stacking. But at the same time, I'm still concerned about overloading. School kids get delayed. They don't have their own coaches and all of that. For me, my biggest achievement is if one day somebody says, Minister Mbalula and the ANC government fixed trains for us. I mean, there's an old rolling stock they call here the old yellow trains. And they are vandalized, dilapidated. But we've got new trains that are running with high speed and all of that, which is good. But over and above that, it is important to focus on this task of fixing the trains.
Lastly, Minister, something breaking this morning, not sure if you're aware, but reports that PRASA owes Eskom about 250 million rand, and the president had to intervene to ensure that PRASA's customers, the commuters, aren't affected. What's your comment on that?
It's not true that the president had to intervene. I'm not absent on the job. We fixed that. We asked for deviation from the treasury of 1 billion. We have paid Eskom and all of that, and then it just took some time because we moved money from capital expenditure to operations, and that's what has actually happened. So that is fixed. And we could not agree with the treasury in terms of deviation on a staggered payment and all of that. But these things do happen. So there's no president who intervened and got, what is this? Who was supposed to be paid? Eskom? Oh, yeah. No, it's not true. I'm with the CEO here. We fixed that. I spoke to PG, the Minister of Public Enterprises. It is something that we've been addressing in the system. The DG approached Treasury for deviation, and Treasury responded positively, so everything is fixed. But you know what?
So you've settled your bill with Eskom?
We are settling it, and totally we're settling that. And but over and above that, that is a stopgap measure. So we're working on the sustainable situation in terms of PRASA, and because that will, among others, depend on how these trains get fixed and how people pay for the service that is provided, and then they'll be able to raise their own money. So capital expenditure is what we provide to PRASA to fix trains and all of that, but the operational expense must come from commuters paying. But user pay will not apply here if trains are not fixed. People are happy to pay, but at the end of the day, the service we provide is old, dilapidated, and that is what we're fixing. So,
and lastly, Minister, briefly on that, commuters here are expectant that these blue trains would be rolled out on most of the lines and completely replace the yellow trains. When can they expect that?
The main problem here in this particular line we're at Piennarspoort is that in the afternoon, this particular service you see going home on time does not actually apply. So we are actually fixing that. In the next 2 weeks, the afternoon trains, we're increasing the blue trains in this particular line. But as we produce more trains, like the briefing I gave you in the war room, we expect by the 31st December that most of the trains, including the old, will be fixed, and then the turnaround will be much better. But over and above that, the production of new trains in these particular lines and all over the country is continuing.
Thank you so much, Minister. We'll leave it there because we're out of time. Well, Oli, you heard it there. Response from the Transport Minister on that issue involving Eskom. And he says by the end of the year, we should see more progress involving the rollout of these blue trains to replace the yellow ones.
Govin Whittle's live for us at one of the train stations here in Johannesburg. And